Yes. Okay. Let's continue. Vocabulary. Read the messages. Please, Jimmy, read this paragraph here.
Okay. Hi, Emily. How are you? I hope you and your family are well. My wife and I have been talking about moving to your city. There are several factors, but the main reason is that we want to better quality of life. You've lived there for many years. Do you think it's good? It's a good place to live?
Pablo. Okay. And again, you have here, hi, Pablo. Continue.
Mhm. Hi, Pablo. Lovely to hear from you, Pablo. I'm excited that you've been thinking of moving here. Like many residents, I think there are many great communities in the city. About half of the population comes from different cultures from around the world. So it's an exciting cultural place. It's not perfect though. Most neighborhoods are nice, but some are dirty with a lot of trash on the streets. And these days, people are less friendly and don't try to help each other. I guess society has changed a lot since we were kids. Anyway, before you make a decision, read books on migration problems. I've read several and they have some good advice. And
Okay. Nice. So after reading, what do you think? The reading is about what? The reading is
about
about what?
migration.
About migration, right? Migration, of course. So now let's continue. Great pronunciation, Jimmy. Let's check some words here. Number one, a group of people who live in one part of a city or a country.
Rubio Bolivia, population?
Population is
Okay,
a
okay,
group,
okay. No, neighborhood
a neighborhood. Let me check. What is neighborhood
or
here?
community.
I think community.
Okay, community.
Yes. Is when many people move from one to another place.
Migration.
Migration means all of the people who live in one area, city, or country.
Area, neighborhood.
Means all of the people, okay, neighborhood. I don't think so.
Okay. It means all the people who live in one area, city and country. Society.
Means okay, no, no, no. I don't
Population.
think so. It could be, look at this. Let's continue with this part. If somebody who lives in a place such a city or a country, the person is a
Society.
no, is
President.
someone
Somebody.
resident.
Somebody.
Yes, resident, a resident is one area within a city. One area within a city.
Within.
One
Uh,
area within city.
within
A
neighborhood.
neighborhood, of course, is an area within a city. Is a reason for something or a cause of something. Is a reason.
Because it's something. Factor.
A factor. Yes, is a factor. Is a group of people who think and act in similar way.
Culture.
Culture. A culture is a group of people. Are you sure?
Ways. Culture.
Uh,
Society.
a society is a group of people who think and act in similar ways. Interesting. Next is what people threw away. What people threw away. Easy peasy. People
Group.
threw away. Threw away. Oh, I don't need
Yeah,
this. Not
yeah,
threw away.
trash. That was it.
Trash. Trash. Means how good or bad life is in one place for one person.
Quality of life.
Quality of life. So now let's difficult words. Means all of the people who live in an area is a general way
Population.
to refer to people in a country. Is
Population is a three.
okay. Population is
No, three. All
population.
people who live in one area.
Population. Perfect. A general way to refer to people.
People in a country or in a world, society.
Society. And a culture, of course. Culture was difficult culture. Let's continue. Next page. So in his message, Pablo says he might move to find a better quality of life. So for example, Jimmy, what things can lead to a good quality of life? Lead to conllevar a. So what kind of things can lead to a good quality of life?
For example, when people access to a hair insurance, for example,
Mhm.
is a characteristic of quality of life. Or for example, about if the neighbors are safe, no,
Uh-huh. Are safe, of course, están seguros. Are
uh,
safe.
and the environment is safe too.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It's a great
um,
quality.
about the, how do you say los sueldos? O sea, el sueldo de las personas.
You can say wage,
Which?
wage, or
Wage.
salary. Wage or salary. I prefer to say wage. Let me show you this word. It's pretty cool.
And the wage of people is
Look at this. Aha, salary.
and
Yeah.
if the wage of people are good for the para la mayoría, for the most of
Oh,
no,
for the majority,
for the
for the
majority.
majority. Okay, remember these words. Pose. Pose a threat. What is pose a threat?
Eh,
Suponer una amenaza.
both at first.
Okay. Comer productos o alimentos altos en calorías suponen una amenaza, un riesgo para tu salud. How do you say this in English?
Mm, eat food.
Eat,
Uh,
remember, eating
eat
food,
food.
food
I
high in calories,
both
calories, poses, poses
at first
a risk, a risk,
a
a
risk
risk. You say pose a risk, pose a threat, pose a challenge. Eating food high in calorie poses a risk
for your
to
health.
your health, to your health. Did you understand? Eating
Okay.
food high in calories poses a risk to your health. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here, typo. Health. You see what I'm saying? Pose a threat, pose a risk. For example, how do you say another word that you can say, la pandemia supuso un desafío para la educación en English.
The pandemic poses a challenge.
Post, post a challenge,
Pose a
a
challenge
challenge to the
to the education.
education because everyone needed to study, but online it was difficult for some teachers. Did you understand?
Yeah.
So the pandemic posed a challenge to education. As you can see here, it posed a threat, posed a risk, and posed a challenge. So you're telling me that a city, a city which, a city in which,
Uh,
um, a city in which, or a city which doesn't pose a
Present
risk
pose
to people is
high,
considered safe.
safe.
Es considered safe. So, una ciudad la cual no suponga un riesgo para las personas es considerada segura. And this is a characteristic, what, of a good
Quality of life.
quality of life. That's great, Jimmy. That's great. Let's continue. Let's continue.
I would say, I could say And these se me va, features of the city. ¿Puedo decir
Yes, features, yeah, features. Let's check these words. Let's check this word. Features, traits, and characteristic. Let's go here. Let's go to Cambridge, of course. Cambridge Dictionary and analyze because if I explain with examples, it could be confusing. Let's go with the first one, trait. Trait, look at this. A trait is a particular characteristic that can produce a particular type of behavior. For example, you have personality trait, character trait. Did you understand? Trait, a characteristic of, especially of a personality. A
only for
trait
people?
is, yes, for people, only for people. Next, a trait is also characteristics of an organism that is passed from parents to child. Trait. Did you understand the first one? Trait.
Yeah.
Característica particular que produce algún comportamiento. For example, my sense of humor is one of my traits. The way that you think is a trait. Personality or character trait. Then we have the second word, feature. Feature. We have here quality, a typical quality or an important part of something. For example, the town's main features are its beautiful mosque and ancient marketplace. Our latest model of phone has several new features. Nuevas, ¿nuevas qué?
Característica.
Nuevas cualidades, okay? Important or an important part of something. A part of a building is a feature. One part of someone's face that is noticed when you look at them. Features, rasgos. But now, look at this. ¿Cómo te lo puedes aprender? Un feature es más que todo una cualidad.
Okay.
And then we have a characteristic. And characteristic, a typical or noticeable quality of someone or something. Or someone or something. Family characteristics, characteristics of male displays. Next word here. Typical of a person or things. With the hospitality, so characteristic of these people. Characteristic viene a ser características. Okay, features vienen a ser partes importantes. Por ejemplo, look at this. Un celular tiene características. Estas características se les puede llamar features.
Okay.
Features. Una persona tiene características. Una de las características son los traits.
Traits.
¿Quedó claro? Las personas tenemos características y traits y las cosas tienen features and characteristics. Did you understand?
Okay, okay.
That's the difference. In this case, you can say features, the quality, the features maybe. Next, grammar, present perfect and the present perfect continuous. The present perfect has the past participle and the present perfect continuous. Both refer to past situations connected to the present. Let's check this grammar chart. Yes, it's here the grammar. Let's practice. Let's practice. Do you remember the difference between these two sentences? Yes, a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, let's practice. Let's practice together. Now, we've been staying at this hotel. Which one?
We have been staying at this hotel. I been staying for 3 days.
For 3 days. For 3 days. Remember that you always use the present perfect progressive when it focuses on duration. Duration. That's great. Next, they've been waiting or they've been waiting
Waiting. Mm,
this morning.
since 9 o'clock.
Since 9 o'clock this morning. Next, Jude has moved to a new house 4 times.
Mm, in the last year,
And the last year, mhm, Easy has made several new friends
uh, during the summer.
during the summer. Uh-oh, remember that the present perfect progressive focuses on duration. So during, next, surprisingly, what do you think?
Surprisingly, uh,
He has, he
okay,
has,
because he has never learned to sing.
he has never. And the last one is during the summer, I've gone swimming, present perfect progressive. And
Doesn't-
here we have, remember, Jimmy, the present perfect focuses on completion. Focuses on completion. Is that okay? Or maybe a review? Nope,
Mm,
it's
no,
okay.
that's
It's
okay.
okay. Next, answer the question and complete with the present perfect or the present perfect continuous. Jimmy, I have a question. How long have you been living in your current home?
Current home. I have been living here from 1995.
Since 1995.
Yeah, since 1990.
Since 1995. Wow, it was like for 26 years at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How many times have you checked your cell phone today?
Mm, um, in average, 30 times a day
Okay, for
for
30 times.
30
For
times.
30 times, 30 times, 30 times.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Who is your best friend and how often do you see him or her?
Um, um, well, I have some favorite friends, but the most that I used to visit, it's my how to say, uh, high school friends.
Are
No,
your high school
there
friends? Of
are
course.
students that I study with them, uh,
Uh-huh.
and often I visit to send every weekend. Weekends.
Every weekend, every weekend. Or you say, I visit her or I visit them
I visit
on the
them
weekends, on the
all the,
weekends.
all the weekends.
Yeah, yeah, you say that I used to visit or that I usually visit.
I usually.
I usually don't confuse. That's great. Thank you so much. You can
So,
say that, next question. I've visited. Remember, Jimmy, when you want to talk about how many times you have done an action, you have to use the present perfect simple. For example, I have traveled to the UK 4 times. One, two, three, four. How many times you use the present perfect simple? Okay.
uh-huh.
You don't say like I visited my friends 3 times. No, I have visited because there is the possibility that you can visit your friends again.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question. Who is your favorite singer and how long have you liked him or how long have you liked her?
I guess my favorite singer is Paul McCartney, and I have been listened to him from since 18 years old.
Since you were 18 years old,
Since
right?
I was 18 years old.
Okay, so when you focus on duration or you focus on completion? In this case, you
Mm,
focus on, so since I was 18 years old or since I was 18 years old, do you remember? You
uh-huh.
focuses on what? You focuses on completion, sorry, or? Duration.
Duration. I don't get it that the word duration.
Okay, duration. Okay, let's review. Let's review because I wanna like make it clear. Make it clear, dejar en claro. Okay, Jimmy. The times in English, how many sentences do we have? How many tenses? It's a good question. Today, a teacher asked me this question. How many sentences or tenses do we have in English?
Mm, two.
16. Yes, the answer is two. Just the present in the past. Carlos, but the future, no. The future as features of the present. Okay? So now focus on this part, Jimmy. It's really important that you understand that the past simple. When do we use the past simple? Let's discuss. When do you use the past simple?
When
When an
when
action,
when an action is indeterminate in the time, no, it's complete.
yes, when an action is completed, when an action is finished, this action is completed, no more, okay? And that's all. The action is completed. But then in the English language, you know, we have another one, which is the present perfect. So
Mhm.
now let's take a look at the difference. And the present perfect, when do we use the present perfect?
When the action is continue, no, is until now.
Yes,
The
the
past.
action is
No,
started in the past and continues
and
up to now, up to the present. For example, if I say, look at this sentence, I left in Peru now. Do I live in Peru? If I say I left in Peru,
I have lived. I
no,
have.
but my question is, I left in Peru. Do I
Ah,
live in Peru? Yes or not? If I say I left in Peru,
it's
tell
correct.
me.
Yeah.
No, look at the sentence. If I say I left in Peru now, do I live in Peru? What do you
Um,
think? This is
yeah,
in the
because
past.
it,
Incorrect. No, I don't live in Peru because the action is completed. I live in Peru. Viví en Perú. Significa que ahora ya no vivo.
uh-huh,
¿Ok? Pero si yo te digo, I have lived in Peru, significa que yo viví en el pasado y que ahorita sigo viviendo en Perú. ¿Hasta allí se entendió?
uh-huh, yes.
Perfecto. Tell me.
I understand that I left Peru. O sea,
Ah,
dejé.
left. Ah, no, no, no. Remember that in English, this word is pronounced live, live,
Okay, okay.
live. This is leave, leave, irse, leave. And of course, we have the past, left, left, and the past, left, left, left,
Left. Mhm.
left, left, left. So this is the difference. So before we continue, did you understand this part? The difference between past simple and the present perfect, right?
Yes, right. Mhm,
Yeah, so remember when the action is completed, not happening anymore, past simple. When the action started in the past and continues up to now, present perfect. En la primera, viví en Perú. Yo no vivo en Perú. I have lived in Peru, viví en Perú y sigo viviendo en Perú. So
mhm.
when we have these two sentences, past simple and the present perfect, we infer, we infer the meaning. Nosotros inferimos el significado. Ah, si me dices que ya no vive ahora y si no, esto lo infieres tú, pero no es lo mismo cuando lees, porque cuando lees, let's take this example. And if I say yesterday, si yo te digo, I bought, I bought a book yesterday, or I have bought a book yesterday. Which one is correct? Which
Mm,
one is correct?
the first.
Just the first one because the action is completed, you know,
Mhm.
yesterday. Here it's impossible because it's yesterday, but the present perfect continues up to now. Si me
Mhm,
dice que el presente perfecto continúa, tengo que poner el yesterday. Did you
mhm.
understand?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So one good feature of this sentence is that we we often we often know when the action happened. Frecuentemente nosotros sabemos cuándo ocurrió la acción, no siempre. Frecuentemente sabemos cuándo ocurre, pero no siempre. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. So now this is great. And then we can use words. For example, we have the word for. And in the present perfect, we have the word for and the word since.
It's
Remember that I say, I read a book for 4 days. Yo leí un libro por 4 días. Pregunta, ¿terminé de leer el libro?
yeah. It's
Sí,
complete.
porque estoy usando el is completed. Pero ¿cuánto tiempo me tomó?
4 days.
4 días, 4 days. Y si digo, I have read a book for 4 days, ¿he terminado de leer el libro?
No, no, it's
¿Cuántos días voy leyendo?
4 days.
4 days. So this is the difference. So maybe I have read a book for 4 days, or maybe I can say I have read a book since today is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, since Monday. Voy leyendo un libro desde el lunes o por 4 días. What is the difference? When you use for, you use a quantity, you use a number, a quantity. But when you use since, you use a point in the time, un
Mhm.
punto en el tiempo. Since I was in high school, since I was a child, since Monday. Did you understand?
Yeah.
So that's perfect. So now that you know the past simple and the present perfect, we have another tense. So we have here the present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous. So what happened here? That we changed this. We changed the present perfect and we changes the present perfect simple because now we have the present perfect continuous. So when do we use the present perfect continuous? Similar to the present perfect simple, actions that started in the past and and continuous up
Continuous.
to now. But Carlos, if the present perfect continuous or progressive is similar or is the same, to be honest, because I cannot see the difference between these two sentences, why does it exist? Why? Why does it exist? ¿Por qué existe si es lo mismo? Let me tell you something. In English, it was like the present perfect had a lot of responsibilities. For example, the present perfect has a lot of responsibilities. So the responsibilities were like assigned to different tenses. Look at this, Jimmy. Imagine that you want to buy a t-shirt. Imagine you want to buy a t-shirt and you have a red t-shirt and a blue t-shirt. You go to the fitting room. Do you know what fitting room is in Spanish?
Probador de
Yes.
ropa.
Yes. When you go to the fitting room, you see, wow, I look amazing with my blue t-shirt. But then you try that red t-shirt on and you say, wow, I look so good with the red t-shirt. You see that the blue t-shirt and the red t-shirt on you, you look very cool. So you don't know what to choose, right? Because you in both t-shirts you look great. Did you understand this part?
Yeah, yeah.
But you think, no, I think I look I look more like or I look nicer or more handsome with a blue t-shirt. Even though when I try the red t-shirt I look cool, but I look cooler than when I am wearing the red t-shirt. Did you understand?
The last sentence, I don't get it very well.
Of course. Look at this. When you try that red t-shirt on, when you try the red t-shirt on, you look, you look cool. You
Okay.
like it. When you try the blue t-shirt on, you look cool too.
Mhm.
But you think, no, I look cooler Or I look cooler with a blue t-shirt. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
feel, no, I'm so handsome with this t-shirt. Even though, even though when you try the red t-shirt, you look cool. Did you understand my metaphor?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Of
Cooler.
course.
Se ve más
Tell
cool.
me. Yeah, for you, of course, because you think in the English language, in the present perfect, it has two responsibilities. So we decided to divide it into two parts. So the present perfect continuous focuses on duration, and the present perfect simple focuses on completion. So
Mhm.
now, guys, so look at this. When you have the word for, you say, ah, yes, I have studied English for 10 years. Do you focus on completion or duration?
Completion.
Dura no, duration for
Ah,
10
okay, okay.
years. For, yes. So you copy this. You use here for, I have read a book, for 5 days. I don't know, because you focuses on duration. Did you understand this part?
Mhm.
Carlos, but what if I decided to say I have read a book for 4 days? Is that okay? Yes, but let me tell you that grammatically people prefer to say
Having.
I have been reading a book for 4 days. Did you understand?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Spanish to make it clear, Carlos, entonces, si el presente perfecto continuo progresivo se enfoca en la duración exacto, vas a usar todos los for con el present perfect continuous. Pero estaría mal si es que uso solamente el present perfect simple. No, no está mal. Pero como cuando tú te vas a comprar tus polos, tú dices, no, yo siento que me veo mejor con el polo azul. De la misma manera, todas las oraciones que estén o que se enfoquen en la duración se ven más bonitas o
Ujú.
quedan mejor con el presente perfecto continuo. Es lo mismo, profesor, y si me pongo el polo rojo, exacto, vas a seguir viéndote bien, pero tú te sentirías más guapo o más guapa con el polo de color azul. Igualito va a ser aquí. No está mal, sino que tienes otra opción para que se vea muchísimo mejor. Did you
Yeah.
understand? Y
Ujú.
esto denota que tienes un inglés o elevado, un inglés académico. So now, let's continue. But Carlos, what is completion? Completion sounds to me like completición, terminar algo, ¿cierto? Completion me suena que se terminó algo, ¿no?
Yes.
Yes. Entonces, let's go here. Look at this part. Look at this sentence. I wrote a book. I wrote 2 books. Si yo te digo que yo escribí 2 libros y te hablo en pasado, ¿los terminé o no los terminé, Jimmy?
Yes, of course. It's a passive.
Past simple. Pero si te digo I have wrote 3 books, ¿los terminé o no los terminé? Ah, ¿qué opinas?
It's a present perfect simple.
Present Perfect Simple. ¿Y qué dice? Que inició en el pasado y que continúa hasta ahora. Mi pregunta es, ¿los terminé de escribir o no? Si te digo, he escrito 3 libros.
No.
No lo he terminado. Eso es lo que nosotros pensaríamos. Pero ahora con esta nueva funcionalidad que tiene el Present Perfect Simple, nos damos lo siguiente. Jimmy, ¿te ha pasado que has terminado de comer? Estás comiendo, justo terminas de comer y llega alguien y te dice, oye, ¿qué vas a hacer ahorita? Ah, ¿quieres ir a comer? No. ¿Tú qué le dices? ¿Ya terminé de comer o ya he terminado de comer? ¿Qué le respondes tú?
Ya he terminado de comer.
¿Y por qué? Ajá. Entonces, respóndeme lo siguiente. Cuando tú digas, I have wrote 3 books, significa que esto es recently. Quiere
Ajá.
decir que ha sido completado, pero hace muy poco. En
Ah,
cambio, si yo te digo, yo escribí 2 libros, esto ha sido terminado
bien.
hace mucho tiempo. Pero ¿cómo sé que es hace mucho tiempo? Porque no me dice cuándo. Pero ¿qué pasa si te digo, I wrote 2 books last year, el año pasado? Igual sigue siendo poco tiempo, pero ya me está indicando cuándo, sí o no. Y al momento de indicarme, por lógica ya va a ser siempre past
Simple.
simple. A esto me refiero con completion, que solamente lo utilizaré para acciones que iniciaron en el pasado y que continúan hasta ahora y para acciones que terminaron pero hace muy poco. Did you understand?
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so now when you want to talk about repetition or how many times you have done an action, for example, I have traveled to the UK 5 times. Toda la vida que tú quieras hablar sobre cuántas veces has realizado una acción, vas a usar el present perfect simple. No hay ningún otro que vas a usar. Did you understand?
Okay. But if for example if I have traveled to the UK, but it's many years ago.
Si ¿qué quieres decir? Yo he viajado a
Uh,
Inglaterra.
Inglaterra. Ajá.
Ah, tendría dos significados. Si tú me dices, I traveled to the UK, lo que yo infiero es que tú viajaste a Inglaterra hace, hace mucho tiempo, ya lo hiciste en el pasado. Y
Yeah.
si tú me dices, I have traveled to the UK, me está diciendo que has viajado a Inglaterra, que viajaste en el pasado, pero cabe la posibilidad de que vuelvas a ir de nuevo. En cambio, en la
Ah,
primera, no.
okay,
En la
okay.
primera, no es, oye, yo he ido a Inglaterra. Ese yo he ido a Inglaterra es que ha sido en el pasado. Ya sé que viajaste. ¿Y qué? Cabe la posibilidad de que puedas ir de nuevo.
Okay.
Y en cambio, la primera es que yo viajé a Inglaterra. Entonces, como que ya no vas a volver a viajar.
Mm,
Y yo sí,
yeah. Ajá.
of
That's it.
course. Okay. Another one, but now let's focus on the present perfect continuous. In the present perfect continuous, we always use it when we want to talk about a long actions that are completed. ¿Qué? Long actions that have finished recently, but it has a present result. What
Ah,
is this? Has a present result. For example, look at this one. You say, I have been coaching, or I have been coaching the team all the morning, but now I am tired. Look at this. You coach the team from 7 a.m. So you coach the team from 7 p.m. to 12:30. And now that a teacher asks, hey, how are you? Porque son la 1 de la tarde. Entonces llega alguien y te pregunta, mira, tú coacheas el equipo de 7 de la mañana hasta 12:30. Y luego se te acerca alguien a la 1 de la tarde y te dice, hey, how are you, Jimmy? Y tú le dices, well, I have been coaching the team all
ujú.
the morning, but now I'm tired. Como puedes observar, tenemos un resultado en el presente. ¿Cuál es? Que
Yeah,
estoy cansado.
I'm tired.
Y la acción se terminó o no.
Yeah.
Ha
Because
sido de larga duración
coaching.
y acabó recientemente. Presente perfecto progresivo. Did you understand now?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, now it's perfect. This is like a workshop. Let's continue. So now that you know this, let's practice. Okay, so now let's go here. Emily, what is the answer? Present perfect, continuous, or both?
Okay. Emily seems no has been
Has been living.
has been living in the same
Oh,
city.
let me check. Has been living. Emily ha estado viviendo en la misma ciudad desde el 2015. Pregunta, ¿esta acción se enfoca en duración? ¿Qué opinas?
Mm,
Se
ah,
dice
no,
for.
has been. Yes,
Has. Ahora me pregunto, ¿ves se enfoca en duración? No, no se enfoca en duración porque no veo un for. ¿Se
yeah,
enfoca en una acción que ha terminado recientemente con un resultado en el presente? Tampoco. Yo sé que es presente perfecto, sí. No es, entonces, como no es presente perfecto continuo, por lógica, ¿cuál va a ser? Presente perfecto simple.
simple.
Recuerda que Emily has. Next, reading the book already. Ya,
Mm,
acá dice ya.
Uh-huh. Okay. Has been reading the book
A ver,
already.
a
Ah,
ver si le pongo,
it's
¿cuál?
finished, no?
Yes, has
Has
finished. Has
finished.
finished. ¿Por qué? Porque mi pregunta es, ¿acabo de terminar de leer el libro o no? Dice
Yeah.
Mark, ha terminado de leer el libro ya.
Ah,
¿Terminó de leer el libro? Sí.
yeah.
¿Cuándo? Hace poco, ¿sí o no?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Number three, Tiago, using social media so
Much.
much.
Uh, using. Uh, Tiago has been using. No, okay. No, Tiago has stopped.
Tiago has stopped using social media so much. Yes, has stopped using
I
social
feel
media.
confused because
¿Por
he's together.
qué?
Uh-huh.
No, lo único que tienes que hacer, Jimmy, es esto. Fijarte si se enfoca en la duración. ¿Cómo me fijo si es la duración? Si veo un for, Jimmy. Cuando tú veas
Okay.
un for, ya es progresivo. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Siguiente. Mira aquí. It non-stop for the last 7 hours.
Mm,
¿En qué se
it
enfoca esto?
four. Okay. Has snow. What?
Dice, non-stop es sin parar. ¿Cómo dirías? ¿Ha llovido sin parar por las últimas 7 horas? ¿O ha estado lloviendo sin parar por las últimas 7 horas?
Ha estado lloviendo. It has.
Been
Ah,
snowing. Y como te
llovido.
dije,
Ah,
acá llevé un for.
four.
No la dudo. Siguiente. Jinhua and hearing for years.
Mm, have been friends.
Have been friends for years. Perfect, Jimmy. That's great. Let's continue. Okay, let's discuss. Jimmy, I have a question. What is one thing you've been doing for many years, but dislike?
Okay. Um, I have been um, transporting by bus all my life, but
All your life.
all my life. But I really dislike it.
You really dislike it. Why?
Why? Because the traffic on Lima in Lima is terrible and is very unhealthy to travel in this way.
It's very unhealthy to travel in this way. Okay, cool. But do you keep doing it?
Yeah, is
And it's
it's
a
necessary. It's necessary
it's necessary. It's necessary. Okay, don't forget about that. Next question for you, Jimmy.
because it's cheap.
What because is
It's cheaper. A pesar de todo, ¿cómo digo?
a
Ah,
pesar, despite,
despite of
despite or in spite of, despite or in spite of.
kind of
How do you
all.
say a pesar de qué? What did you say?
A pesar de todo, despite of all.
Despite, of course, you could do that. It's despite, but remember when you want to include a subject plus a noun, you can say plus a noun or plus a clause. Okay?
Okay.
In this case, when you say después de todo, vendría a ser but after all.
But
No
after,
podría ser despite all. Despite all es a pesar de todo. Este a pesar de todo se interpreta como well, after all, después de todo, or lo que quedaría más natural es at the end of the day.
at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. For example, I traveled to Canada. Oh my goodness, I lost my passport. I lost my wallet. I don't know how to go to the hospital. I don't know how to go to the airport. But at the end of the day, we are together. You see?
Ah,
Pero
okay.
después de todo lo malo, at the end of the day, we are together. Did you understand, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yes. Or after all, or at the end of the day. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Next question for you, Jimmy. What is one thing you've recently finished? Do you know?
Mm, Finish.
Mhm.
Mm, I, okay. Mm, okay. I have finished, um, I have finished doing my tax for a day.
Your taxes.
My taxes for a
Your
day.
taxes like impuestos.
No, no, no. How's it? Tareas. Tax.
Tasks. No, no,
Ah,
no. Remember, you say task in singular, but in plural, you say tasks.
okay.
Tasks. Well, I finished doing my tasks.
Tax.
Pretty cool.
For a day.
For the day. So you have finished doing your tasks.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And let's continue. Who is one person you've known for less than a year?
Mm, for less than a year.
Yeah, for less than a year.
Okay. For example, in my case, I have no, I have knowing. ¿Cómo se dice conocer en persona? Knowing.
Of course, no. Remember, no means conocer. Meet means conocer, but for the
Okay,
first
okay.
time.
I have
For
I have
I
met.
have no. You have met. You have met.
I have met.
Tú conociste. Okay, you have met.
I have met my colleagues this year because the pandemic. I work alone in remote mode, but now I going to the office now.
You are
Um,
going to the office.
yeah,
Okay, so you have met your colleagues for the first time
for the
because
time.
you work remotely, right?
Okay.
Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Thank you so much. Let's continue. We have some minutes, don't worry. Let's continue next page. Listening, let's go here. You are going to hear an academic discussions. Push and pull factors. Push and pull. Imagine a door. You push the door or you pull the door. You see?
Ajá.
Push and pull, of course. So now let's listen, okay? Let me share the computer sound. Three, two, one, let's go. Uh-oh.
Hello, everyone. Let's get started, okay? In recent classes, we've been studying types of migration. So far, we've discussed emigration, which is when people move away from a place, and immigration, when people move to a place. Today, I'm going to talk about factors that cause migration. In other words, why do people move? There are two main reasons. We call them push factors and pull factors. Can anyone say how they're different?
I think push factors are negative. They make people want to leave a place. And pull factors are positive. They make people want to move to a place.
That's right, Laura.
Okay, Jimmy, let's go here. So migration push factors are negative things that make people
That the people go out to
go out or leave
or leave the
leave the leave the
place.
leave a place. But pull factors are positive things
That make
but
people want
want
go to go inside.
go to
To
move to a place, inside the country, of course. Okay. So we are going to stop here, Jimmy. It was a pleasure for me to be here with you today, and I'll send you a recording in a few minutes. Okay?
okay, teacher. Last
Tell
question.
me.
Yesterday, you talk about the word abordar, pero I remember
Tackle.
tackle. For example, when I read some books, I used to read the phrase address. Is the synonym to tackle?
You address a problem. You mention
Is
address.
Is synonym?
Yes, it's similar. It's similar. It's
Ah,
similar.
okay.
It's similar to address a problem.
Uh-huh.
Of course. Good job.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that's great. We continue tomorrow.